Hi everyone, welcome back to Haley K Studio. I'm Haley and I like to share drawing tutorials, Procreate tutorials, and today I am going to share a watercolor Procreate tutorial with you. If you ever go on Etsy and you're scrolling through and you see all of those really pretty watercolor prints and you think to yourself, hey, I can make that. Well, today I'm going to show you how you can create your own really pretty watercolor paintings, and our subject matter today is going to be little houseplants. So if you're a beginner or you are not a beginner, I think you'll find these tips and techniques that will help you master watercolor brushes in Procreate, or at least get more comfortable with watercolor brushes in Procreate. And after watching this, you'll be able to create your own artwork that you can put up on the wall, decorate your house with, and you won't even have to spend extra money buying the ones that you see online. So as ever, my watercolor Procreate brushes are available in my Etsy shop, and I will link them down below. So before we dive in, make sure you have your iPad, the Procreate app, and your stylus ready. And if you find this tutorial helpful, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more art tutorials. So let's get started. So first we're going to draw a little rough sketch of our houseplants that we're going to watercolor. So I'm going to just speed up this process here. It's just going to be a rough sketch of some little potted plants. Okay, and there is my sketch of the painting that I am going to be watercoloring today. And I've just got like a snake plant, we'll call that one a snake plant, and maybe this is more like almost like a rubber tree kind of shaped leaf. And then we can kind of call this one like an elephant leaf plant. I don't know house plants that well, but everyone knows a snake plant, and that's definitely what this one is. So I did my sketch, and it's all on one layer. So what I did was I just centered it. I've got my snapping turned on so that I can see when something's centered, and it just kind of puts everything into the right spot for on the canvas. So what you can do is you can lower the opacity down and create a new layer to start your watercolor. And I'm just going to put that one on the bottom. I'm going to put my watercolor painting below my sketch. Like I mentioned before, I am using my watercolor brush set, and to do the sketch I used my fine bristly liner. And on retrospect, I would have given these names that were a little bit easier to pronounce for myself. I didn't anticipate that I would be making art tutorials, and I don't know why fine bristly liner is difficult for me to say just as much as bleedy bladder and so on. So just the names that I gave these kind of makes me laugh, especially when I hear myself pronounce them. Anyways, so I'm going to start from the left to the right on my canvas here. And so I'll start on my little snake plant down here. And to start, I am going to get the round wash brush, and grab the color that I would like to use. So I'm going to stick into this little color palette that I have here, and these are all just hand-picked colors, and they have various names that mean nothing to you. The palette names mean nothing to you, and you can just ignore them because they're just my silly names that I've given them. Okay, so I've got my round wash brush selected, and I am going to just start filling in this space here on the pot itself. And I didn't lift up my stylus at all when I was coloring that in, because I wanted to do it in one stroke so that I didn't get any layers yet. So now I'm going to add my next layer of color to it. I think I may use a darker color and reduce the size of the brush. Okay, I'm satisfied with that. I'm gonna add my next layer to do the leaves, and I've got my round wash brush again. I might make the brush size a little bit bigger. I might regret that, but we're gonna try it. And I'm gonna grab a more green color to start. I did regret it. I'm gonna make it smaller. And these are pressure sensitive brushes, so on the more narrow parts of the leaf, you can just release a little bit of the pressure to make it a little bit more narrow. And then when you're in a bigger spot, you can press a little harder. And you can color within the lines that you created. So I have the round wash brush done, and I am going to add some detail to these leaves. I'm going to add a layer, and I'm going to change it to this color, and I'm going to grab rough mop and see if I like how this goes. So what we're trying to recreate here are those kind of jagged color variations in a snake plant and a snake plant's leaves. And I'm going to lift up my stylus and put it back down and do that continuously, kind of in short strokes, to kind of create that kind of like jaggedy look that the color of a snake plant gets. So I'm gonna stick with the round mop for this process, and I'll speed this up. Okay, so I've got those leaves filled in here, and if you remove your sketch, you can kind of see how it's developing, and you can kind of see how like the edges of the leaves are similar to that of a snake plant. There we go. And you can what you can even do, since we put that on a second layer, is change the opacity on that just to kind of blend it in more without using a blender brush, which I don't really want to do on that part. I don't really want it to blend in. I don't blend a whole lot of mine because I do like that kind of I don't know. I like that imperfect watercolor look on a lot of my stuff, and some people might not want to go for that, but that's personally what I like to do. So we've got that jagged coloration of a snake plant done, so we'll move on to our next plant, which is this wannabe rubber plant maybe. So I'm gonna add a new layer, and I'm gonna start off with the pot first, and I'm gonna go back to my old standby, my round wash brush, and I'm gonna grab like a pinky color. Just grab that pinky color. It's kind of a lighter pink, and I will make it bigger. Maybe not that big. Okay, here we go. And if you find that this is a little too transparent for you, what you can do, and it's just how these watercolor brushes are coated to be very transparent, you can duplicate what you did and put them together, just to make it a little bit easier to darken it. And I'm sure you can go in and coat it differently, but there's sometimes where I do want it more transparent and other times that I don't. and I just wanted that color to pop a little more, so I just duplicated the layer and put them together. So now I'm just gonna add a little bit more detail to this pot. I grabbed a darker pink and I'm just gonna give it like a little bit of a zhuzh there. So zhuzh is done, and we can move on to the next part of the leaf. And we're gonna add another layer. I'm gonna stick to the round wash brush. Okay, so the leaves are filled in, and now I want to add some veining and some stems. And I'm going to do that with the rough mop again and this very dark green here. So what I did was I took this rough mop and I just added a little bit of stem work here and the veins within the leaf. And she's looking pretty good on the leaf end. Very artsy, very minimal. I like that about it. So now we can move on to this last little plant here. And I kind of want to make this like a terracotta pot, and I think I'm going to use this kind of dark maroon, if that's what you call that color. We're gonna make this, we're gonna pretend like this is a terracotta style color. Kind of like a terracotta pot there. And move on to the leaves of this elephant ear plant, if you want to call it that. And I want to choose kind of this more bluish green, and again stick to the round wash brush for now. And then again add the veining with the same color tone, but I'm going to grab this darker teal, and then I'm going to go in with this color burn mop for some of the stem and veining on it. Okay, so that the main part of the painting is done, and I do want to clean up a little bit of this pot right here. So I am going to turn off my sketch, and it's just a little too rough for me, so I am going to go ahead and erase a little bit of that. So to smooth out the edges of that one, I used my rough liner in eraser, and I just turned up the size pretty high, all the way up. So it kind of cleaned up the edges of that pot a little more to where I enjoyed the look of it a little better. So you can see our sketch again. You can keep the sketch on, but you can turn up the opacity again if you want, if you kind of want that sketch to watercolor look, but I personally am going to keep it off. And if you notice, like on a lot of the watercolor plant paintings that you can get on Etsy, they are just the painting on the white background, and the intention here is that you would just print it on a beautiful paper that you have curated for your artwork in your home. But if you are using this just as a digital painting, you can always again use the watercolor paper texture. Let's use the recycled paper, and let's choose we're gonna keep in this teal and see what happens. We're gonna see what happens. I mean, come on, that's cute. That is cute. So you can kind of see it's got that watercolor or recycled paper texture to it, and I find that absolutely beautiful. And it was so easy to do this. Honestly, like, if I can do this, pretty much anybody can. So nothing really needs to be added to this, in my opinion. This can just be printed off, put in a frame, put in the decor in your home, and it will fit right in with your other boho style artwork and decorations. I mean, if this was next to a philodendron plant hanging from a macrame, I think that would fit right in. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this tutorial and find it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And if you create your own watercolor houseplants, I really would love to see them. So tag me on social media, and I will link that down below. I am on Instagram and I'm now on Cara, so find me on both of those. And I want to see the stuff that you make too. So that would make my day so much. And again, if you are interested in these watercolor brushes, they are linked below in my Etsy shop. And I will continue to make tutorials on how to use them in simple and easy ways so that you don't have to feel like you don't know where to start with them. And don't forget to subscribe to Haley K Studio for more tutorials and inspiration. And feel free to leave me any questions or comments below, and let me know what you would like to see next on Haley K Studio, what you would like to see me make, whether it's a watercolor or a gouache painting, or even some of my cute kawaii style line drawings, because those are all my favorites. So I would love to make more of those for you if you would enjoy them. So thank you again for watching, and until next time, I hope you keep creating and you just keep drawing, keep painting, don't stop, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.